There once was a little bucket who lived west of Nantucket, where the sun was bright and shining, and the flowers were beautiful and reclining. The cloud felt just the same. Even the tree wanted to know his name. He splished some here, and he splashed some there. No matter how much he splashed, he had plenty to spare. Splashing this much, it seemed so rare that he could have been a dunk tank at the fair. He played with his friends every day, and sometimes at night. The fun they had, well, there was no end in sight. They splashed each other, they were digging it too. They turned the dirt into mud, and they played in the goo. Every day of the week, he loved to play ball, until he heard his mother's call. He knew right then it was time to go, but not until his good friendship to show. He laughed and he giggled, and he gave a high five. There's no doubt about it, he felt really alive. But not everyone could splash like he. As a matter of fact, some buckets seemed quite empty, with nothing to spare and nothing to share, so all he could do was offer his care. Without a second thought, he jumped in the air to show this friend that he really did care. He poured and he splashed, there was no doubt that he gave and he gave until he almost ran out. Later that day, as he walked home from school, there was a trail behind him. It looked like some drool. Some kids saw it and had fun, and so the taunting had begun. It wasn't nice. They were being mean because of this line they had seen, running from his bucket and straight to the ground, which even caught the nose of a hound. When he got home from school, he was telling his mom of the many things that had gone on. And when she didn't listen, he went outside and attempted to hide from this feeling inside. After all of this, he felt something had changed. And that something inside of him felt rearranged. He didn't know, but his fullness had grown smaller. He'd given so much to that bucket who was taller. Though the bucket wasn't empty, it had surely gone down, and now he felt his face had a frown. He tried and he tried to get filled back up. He was a bucket, but he couldn't hold a cup. Not a spigot, not a pond, whoosh, nor raindrops from the sky. Yosh! There just wasn't enough to fill up this guy. No matter how much went in, he still ran dry. Buckets came from far and near to lend him help and aid. These fine buckets called themselves the Awesome Bucket Brigade, with little ones, big ones, tall ones, short ones, young ones, old ones, in different colors too. But what they put in, well, it just ran right through, and it flowed all the way from here to Tin Bucket 2. No one knew why he felt so sad, and they even made fun of the trouble he had. They didn't have any more words to say as they shrugged their shoulders and walked away. Ever seen a bucket with shoulders? And he, the little bucket, had never felt this lonely or forgotten, and he didn't know why this trouble he had got in. Psst! Look inside your bucket. Some days passed, and then he heard a voice that spoke as softly as a bird. Look inside your bucket. But he thought, how? He was afraid that he might find a cow. When he looked inside, he found a hole, right there smack in the bottom of his soul. A hole, it didn't seem right, but he saw it there in plain sight. A hole was there, it was nice and round, and this hole, it led right straight to the ground. But all around the hole, all around, the universe, the stars, and the galaxies did abound. Well, how did this get there? You may have heard him squeal. There's just not a hole, but the whole universe, now that's a big deal. He didn't know it was there, it was quite profound. The universe was there and it didn't make a sound. In silence, he stopped to consider all this. Not alone anymore, he was a bucket of bliss. You just never know what will happen when you give yourself to another. To a friend, sister, mother, or dad, or a stinky little brother. When you give your best and give it some time, this truth often rings clear. Sometimes what comes back to you can make your life more dear. Even though for a time it caused some trouble or some pain, what comes back into your bucket does more to plug the drain. The message of the bucket comes as a gift or surprise to you and me. In it we find a secret meant for all to see. We can't really fill each other up like we would envision. It seems that it's for every person and that finding oneself is the mission. Now most of us are like the bucket, each child, each woman and man. We live each day doing the best we can. And something happens along the way to stir us from our sleep. Its message is clear. If we can hear, it comes from somewhere deep. Look inside. Be a friend. Be a friend to yourself indeed. It comes as a gift with galaxies and stars, and will be there whenever you need. And now the bucket has come back to himself. He can feel his fullness again. He's glad for his family and the love of all his friends. He splashes again, each moment is new, gleaming stars all around. He's glad for this new place inside and the wondrous universe he's found. The end and the beginning.